Yo, what is up, everybody? We are live for another episode of WrestleSense, another live report about professional wrestling and what went down actually the last 2 weeks, because last week wasn't feeling so good. No show last week. Thank you all for hanging with us for a week. So we got a lot of talk about, but not really. I mean, we got 2 weeks worth to talk about, but really not a lot of stuff. If you can figure that out. I don't know. Confused? Good. You should be. Wally's in the house. Welcome to the show. Always a pleasure. Big Wally in the house. Solo season in the building. Don't have Fox One. Oh, that sucks for you. William Kennan in the house. There he is. Welcome in. Welcome in. Andy Price is here. Yeah, we're going to talk WWE. We're going to talk AEW. We are going to touch base a little bit on the G1 Climax that's out there. I don't know a lot about it, but I did do a little research today, and a big match just happened, so we'll cover that as well. So good to see everybody out there. Let's bring the boys on, Doc and CJ. What's happening?
What's going on? What is up, people?
No pissing around. We're getting right into it today.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it up.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so War Games, or the match beyond, or Blood and Guts, whatever you want to call it. One of my favorite gimmick matches of all time. A lot of people like the Hell in a Cell, the Elimination Chamber. I think War Games concept, the original one, I'm kind of a stickler. I like the cage on top and submission as the finish, or give it up, or throw it in the towel, so to speak, is what we say. But War Games, we're talking about, shall we play a game? We talking about this type of War Games? No. But it was a good movie. I love that movie. About the video game? No.
You're showing your age right now. You know that.
Yeah, not that. Okay. How about God of War games? No, not that War game.
Hey, they were bad. Some of them were fun.
But this is the original NWA, WCW, whenever the Road Warriors and anything back then, especially with Ric Flair on the other side. And my man, Dusty Rhodes.
It was a good time.
Like when they did the entrances, it was all dark. They had the smoke for the Road Warriors and everything. I mean, it was a big production not like the productions we get nowadays for like WWE and such, but the idea to put 2 rings together, like I wonder, I mean, Dusty obviously came up with it, but do you think it's overkill to do 2 rings and more shit and add on triple cages and all that stuff, or do you guys like the uniqueness of it?
I mean, no triple cages. I'm good with 2 rings because there's 10 fucking guys. That's a lot of fucking moving parts. But
I just like I love how it is because it's the one time a year or one time when in whatever event's putting this on that you see 2 rings. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty cool, especially when you get to see the matches beforehand. And sometimes the workers are like, you know what? We're going to use this to our advantage and just have some fun with it. You know what I mean? That's what I always loved about it. So
yeah. And that's like the dynamic of, like you said, the pre-matches where they could be in one ring and you're going to see some spots you don't normally see because there's that in between the ring crap. And, it's the one thing I always wondered, like if you ever gone to a live show with 2 rings, would it suck to be on the one side and the matches are always on the first ring or something? I don't know if
I've been on shows with 2 rings. IWC, we had a show with double rings.
So did they rotate the singles matches or anything before between them rings at least or something for the
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
matter of fact, I believe I could be wrong with this. Someone who has better research skills than myself. I think that show was the show that I refereed AJ Styles versus Christian Cage.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sweet. But we know that since the purchase of WCW over to WWE, that WWE has been using it for like NXT, and they have their own change the rules up a little bit to accommodate high spots off the top. I had this actual VHS somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I remember having this VHS and just it was so unique back then, so ahead of its time to see. I'm just glad it's still around.
Yes.
Now this comes off of. And I was on another podcast of debating this stuff. The rule change, not really rule changes, but AEW cracked down on a lot of head spots, chairs to the head.
Good.
And a lot of the stuff was you just have to get approval for it. It's not going away. So I had people telling me, oh, they're going to ruin their product. They're not going to be hardcore anymore. You won't see blood. What's Moxley going to do? And I said, it just needs approval. They're doing what they should have done in day one.
Yes, and not everybody and their fucking mother. I'm like, I am completely on board with this. Too many bumps on the fucking apron. Too many bumps with your back to like the buckles and blah blah blah. You can't see where you're going to be able to protect yourself better. I mean, the person that's giving you the move is a professional and going to keep you safe, but there are still those instances where shit happens. So this will hopefully eliminate shit happening more so than it needs to.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this plenty of times that the structure, AEW needs a little more structure. And think about production value. In a match where someone's going to go off and do a move that really wasn't scheduled, how is the cameraman supposed to know how to shoot it? How's the...
I mean, that's why you have earpiece. That's why you have earpieces, but still, I mean... Yeah.
But now at least if there's a big spot like that, the production team knows, the announce team knows it's coming, and the product is better, I think, because of that. So that's how I took it.
Another thing too, like kind of piggybacking off of what CJ says, if you sit there and you have 3 different matches, Blue Thunder Bomb on the apron, then this on the apron, then this on the apron, it gets repetitive and it gets overkill. So, spicing up your match a little bit more instead of just doing spots off the apron. Okay, this match is going to do this off the apron, so you guys do some, like maybe a senton out the side of the ring. Just stuff like that, because that way it splits it up a little bit. A lot of these guys love to do the apron spots. I mean, God, we've seen destroyers, we've seen package pile drivers, we've seen all of them. And I just feel like this is the time where you kind of just start to get that distinct different match each one,
and they have coaches, they have guys that are writing the matches that are helping them get through these matches and stuff too. Like people think that Tony just writes down a winner and they go at it. No, it's like, but also say in match 7 there's going to be this big pile driver that we've been waiting for weeks. This guy's tried to pile drive this big guy and couldn't do it. Do we want 5 pile drivers in the matches before that? No, we want that moment worked up. So this is only going to make production value a lot better. And another things they banned were like spitting on the fans, knocking drinks out of the fans, like the shit MJF was doing. CM Punk diving into the fans. What if he hurt a fan?
Yeah, point
we
taken.
know
Or what if he hurts himself? That's the thing. You got to watch that.
Yeah. So it's like these are precautions that probably should have been done on day one, but they came the week before War Games or
and everyone was probably obviously, oh, it's gonna fucking suck.
Exactly. Oh my god. How are they going to have blood and guts when they can't do blood or they can't hit someone in the head?
I never said they can't do blood either.
No, I know. It's like people just twist everything.
The one thing I would have changed about blood and guts, and I'll probably get heat for this, and I don't fucking care. I would have been okay without the shards of glass. I was totally on board with the bed and nails thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
But the shards of glass to me was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Obviously, they did it in a safe way. Yeah, I just found it a little bit unnecessary.
I like a little blood
more
and
GCW than AEW.
Yeah, I like a little gore in my wrestling. I went to Lollapalooza one year and Steve-O was on backstage. And I watched the Steve-O and him cut himself with light bulb blood and paint himself with blood and, bash beer cans off his head with Metallica until he bled like crazy. And I'm like, I like a little bit, but when it goes too far, it can be a little queasy. So, yeah, the glass might have been – was it needed? Probably not.
No. Did it add to it? Yeah, 1,000%. But I feel like
the bed and nails was more creative.
I think it would have been just as good without the shards of glass.
Yeah. I mean, with the top of the cage, you don't get like when NXT does it, they do the top cage spots because they have those little things in the corner. Plus, there's no top. But what I like when they go on the top here in Blood and Guts and do some moves on top of the cage, that you'd never see that on a regular show. So it's just something different. And every time they do one of these matches over the years, I think there's been like 41 War Games matches. Like I didn't realize how many they did in the early 90s in WCW. They went on the road with it for a while. When I looked it up on Wikipedia, I was like, holy shit. Like Flair and the Road Warriors have been in like 35 War Games matches. Like I didn't even know there were that many, but obviously they dug real deep into on house shows and stuff back in the day. And NXT's had like maybe 4 or 5.
A handful of them.
And then we just had the Survivor Series one last year. So we've had 2 different. I don't mind 2 different versions because I like the concept. Do I want it every other month? No, I want it
once a year. Makes it special. Absolutely. So
the ending of this, we got the Golden Elite winning. And then from what I read, the handshake and the Kenny promo afterwards
was supposed to happen on,
supposed to be on TV, which, I mean,
they even cut out a whole spot that Hangman was supposed to do, allegedly, because of time restrictions.
I mean, people call a lot of the AEW stuff spot fest and stuff, and it is. And I like sometimes to have a spot fest, and sometimes I like to have a nice technical wrestling on the mat. Now, CJ, as a fighter, if you go into a cage match or something with this many spots, that has to be tougher for these wrestlers to have to pull a match like this together. You think?
Yes and no. I'm leaning more towards the side of no, because with that many people, I feel like more if you keep it more storyline based and give each one of the guys one big spot.
Yeah,
I think that's going to take up a lot more time than you think.
So I hate to do the comparisons and stuff, but this Blood and Guts versus the Usos and Sammy and the Bloodline War Games. It's kind of close.
It's to me, there's not a comparison. It's two different things. They both were great for what they were. I mean, when you go that route, I think it's all a matter of personal opinion.
Amen. Thank you. That's kind of where I was going with it. So you picked that ball up and ran with it.
I like the fact that the simple fact is, if you look at the storytelling within both of these matches, if you look at how in the War Games, Sammy. That was where Sammy kind of was like, that's it. You're not my best friend anymore. I don't want anything to do with you. And kind of put that huge divot, that dent in that friendship with Kevin Owens, making the people say, oh my God, why would you do this to your best friend of 30 some years? It's just for these guys. And then that whole build up with Jay not trusting him, Jay being a dick to him. And then boom, that big hug, that had that drama to it, that had that basic great storytelling. And then you go over to this match and you look at how long the Blackpool Combat Club have been like the bullies of AEW in the schoolyard and just picking and trying to pick on the elite, pick on these guys, pick on the best friends. They always got to find somebody to pick on. And finally, like the elite was like, okay, we got to dig in, we got to dig deep, and then, forming the Golden Elite and just basically taking it to the BCC and showing that Moxley actually had a soul, saying, you're just going to die here. We surrender. I loved it. I loved how they did that. And it was Moxley that had to surrender, not Castagnoli, not any. It had to be Moxley. And I love that.
I'd like to touch on what Wally said real quick. See, I mean, you love the thumbtacks, glass, and weapons. That's fucking awesome. I didn't like the glass. However, I did thoroughly enjoy the thumbtacks because of how it was done.
Yeah, drop through the top.
Yeah, with which one of the Jacksons was it? Matter? One of the
matter.
Nick, whichever one it was, pouring them down through the top of the cage like it was raining. That was super cool, and that's more to me. Even though that's like hardcore, there was a story behind it, not just pulling them out from under the ring and tossing them all over it.
But every time someone has to write one of these matches, they're trying to one up the ones before or do something different. And I don't blame them. So the bed of nails, I think, was a nice, something new. How they used it, very crazy how they used it a couple of times. How it fell off Kenny. It was very kind of cringy here and there. And then here's the thing that people don't realize. And some people did complain about this, said, hold it off to a pay-per-view or a supercard. We got this for free on a Wednesday, dude. It's like we actually got a War Games and a Royal Rumble for free last week on AEW because they did the Royal Rampage. It's a ring battle royal. So Royal Rumble and a War Games for free. I'm signing up for that every time. So, like I said, do I want it every match all the time? No, but on occasion, these are great ways to settle a war between two groups, just like the name is. What about this? The dance off, and this angle continues to grow and continues.
It was fine. It was fine.
I like the comedic nature as part of it. As much as I want blood and guts in my wrestling show, I want some comedy. So it's fun to see Adam Cole. I mean, I know he can be funny, but this is just I really enjoy. What do you guys think about where it's at now and where it might go between Adam Cole and MJF?
You want to know what I think? Honestly. Yeah. Everyone is expecting MJF to turn on Adam Cole. I think it's going to be Adam Cole turning on MJF.
Well, he said he was going to. He broke character. I don't know, break character, but he said, even after all this, you know what? I know how much it means to you. I'm going to give you a title shot, and I think he's going to renege on that or something to piss off Adam Cole.
I don't think.
You think he'll still give him the shot?
Yeah.
But maybe he'll be like, well, never mind. I changed my mind or something. I don't know. I'm just intrigued by it because we don't know where it's going to go.
What about a theory? What about this theory?
Sure.
What if Adam Cole's the one that turns?
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
I mean, what if? I'm just wait with you on this. I'm kind of agreeing with you. But here's the kicker. What if they if they reverse this role, can MJF make it work? He is such a good heel. Could we make him a babyface? I mean,
absolutely.
Sticking with, this is a good way to kind of do it because Adam Cole has the crowd cheer. He has the chants. They're kind of feeding off of him. And MJF coming down the ring, high-fiving fans and stuff. It's
or Roderick Strong might have something to do with it.
He's
him. Yeah, or Kyle O'Reilly is ready to come back.
Never mind. He took torture out of my mouth. What if we see? Great. What if we see that happen again? What if we see, he rebuilds that faction and then they become the big heel faction throughout of.
Yeah, and they're building towards. They're making you think MJF. He has that dirty look after he had the belt and stuff. They're making you think MJF's going to turn on him, but I would love to see.
I don't think he's going to.
I think that you have they're giving you a sympathy for this man because this man doesn't have friends. I mean, look at that. Look about when I were playing video games and he was like, yeah, multiplayer games. How you used to just back in the day sit on the couch with your friend. He goes, I never had a friend. And it made you feel bad for him. If you listen, the crowd was they had the crowd noise in the background. You heard everybody go, oh, they're starting to, you're starting to open up your heart to MJF. The simple fact is he didn't have friends. He was just a despicable person. Let's see where they go with this. I'm proud of you.
and you can't really say MJF's title reign. Some people were saying it was kind of falling off, wasn't doing much. Now
I disagree.
This brings a whole new dynamic to his title reign, in my opinion.
I'm just saying, if this was me writing it, I would not have MJF turn on him because that's what everybody expects. So I would go the complete opposite way.
I wouldn't be surprised they win the tag titles at this point.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it'll happen, but I think you're going to get a lot of false finishes where you're like, holy shit, they're really going to put the belts on these guys. But then I think that would be, I don't know. I'm not saying it would be a wrong move, but I think they could make it work, even if they only had it for a little while and, FTR won it back or something. Who knows? But I like the comedic stuff. Throw it in there. Have them do a dance off, just for shits and giggles. It was fun. What's next? I mean, they're going to have to try to top it off. So Royal Rampage came down to, who was it? Swerve.
And Darby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Swerve and Darby. And I like the concept of the two rings and how it broke down and everything. So, yeah, we came down to Swerve and Darby. And it's a different way for an ending of a Rumble. Like, because both men did go flying out. We've seen that before.
Yeah, but Swerve's hit before Darby's hit or whatever.
I don't know if I've ever seen that type of ending
where
someone sacrifices their self hoping that the other person hits first, not with the feet. We've seen the feet dangling and hitting twice, but so it was a good way to work things out, and I like the dynamic where they're going with Swerve now. We'll talk about that here in a minute when we get to Dynamite. The FTW, championship going to Jungle. I'm sorry, not Jungle Boy no more.
Jack Perry, motherfucker.
Just Jack Perry, and the whole idea behind it, and what do you guys think with his heel turn? How it's evolved now? Is he getting better at it? Is it the same? Or
I think he's gotten a lot better, man. Yeah. I think he's becoming a lot more. Not that he wasn't believable before, because he's pure talent, but look at his background, like his personal background with who his dad is and whatnot. Like, he is more of a believable, cocky, like Hollywood kind of fucking kid.
I mean,
on the same page?
I'm on the same page. I just think it's funny that he looks like the dude from That 70s Show.
Yeah, he does.
I can't get over it. I can't get that image out of my head.
Yeah.
And the bad part is my wife's sitting there. She isn't really a wrestling fan. She looked up, what the hell? I started laughing. It's good times, So I mean, it like I said, it's always fun to see people go out of their element, and try something new. And I'm loving this. I'm loving the fact that they're doing this with him. They're making him so despicable. They're making him call out Taz. It's just a good time.
I'm glad they got rid of this song.
Jerry Lynn.
Yes, Jerry Lynn.
What do you guys think of the Beethoven?
I hate it.
I think it's hilarious.
I think it needs a new song. But
I think he should have came out to the 90210 theme song.
Jesus. That would be kind of cool, too. Don't even I just think, why not take something? If you look at this for a minute, you take the one music that people hate the most, and it's going to cause them to boo. I mean, if you think about Peter Avalon, when AEW first started, he had one of the best gimmicks I ever saw. It was the librarian, because who's the person that's always telling you to shut up? Who's the person that's always ruining your good time? A librarian. It was perfect. People, especially him, and people just booing the shit out of him. It was awesome. So if you go back, look at all the people that the Beethoven. It reminds you of like classical music class. It reminds you of those classes in high school when that teacher standing up front and saying, "Now this was real music." It just causes that boo. It causes that heat. It causes that people like to call it the PTSD era. Like the stuff that caused you like just to think, man, did life suck when this music was on? So, yeah, I think it's brilliant what they're doing. I mean, I hate it. Don't get me wrong, but that's what they want.
And it's nothing really new either. We talked about that a couple weeks ago when we did the theme songs. Flair, Savage, Piper, Danielson. They all have some of those classic tinges in their songs that, sometimes it works as a wrestling. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish they did something else for
it works,
Jack Perry, but it does work for now.
But for me, it's cheap heat. And I don't think he needs the cheap heat. I think that he is good enough on his own to get his heat. And I think it's only going to help him get better as a heel that he kind of is being forced to get his heat. You know what I'm saying? Rather
Yeah,
than it
yeah.
given to him.
Yep. But it's like it felt like that song needed to change because people were going to
Oh
do this. No
yeah,
matter
he
what,
couldn't
so.
keep Baltimore, but
And I think his promos and his demeanor is getting better each week as he gets to
absolutely
try something a little different. So let's talk about this. Is this the end for Billy Gunn?
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I've heard some theories that they want you to think it is, so they're setting up for a repackage. I'm sorry, I mean, but what are you going to repack? I mean, how over is the Scissor Me Daddy stuff where he can actually get over as something else? I'm interested. Like, what can they do to top that to keep him relevant? I mean, he looks phenomenal.
He's been around for like 40 years, and he's been pretty fucking relevant the entire time. I'm sure he will be just fine. I mean, if it is it, good for him. He's busted his ass. He's 60 years old.
Yeah,
looks better than half of the people under his age.
Bring back the sex gimmick with Tori Wilson. Nah, I mean, but like it's just the fact that he takes off his he took off his boots. That was heart wrenching for a lot of fans out there, especially ones that grew up watching him. That hits you, especially when a wrestler retires. Man, it hits you. No, it just makes you think like, damn, I was that long ago. I watched Dark Side of the Ring. I seen like Adrian Adon this episode. I just watched Bam Bam Bigelow last night, and it just hits you like, damn.
Oh my!
I was a kid.
Yeah, Rumham. Yeah, baby.
Oh Christ!
He's fucking tired.
Here we go.
Yeah.
We will see.
Sure, we'll hear about it next week, here, JJ. So, we'll see what happens with Billy Gunn. I like the intrigue behind it. You can see he was getting even a little emotional trying to get them boots off, and like
he did a good job, man.
Yeah, he did a very good
job.
job.
Regardless on if he's actually done or not. Yeah.
He did. It kind of reminded me of the salmon suit.
Oh, Mark Henry, yeah.
Yeah, the fake retirement stuff. But it gets you really thinking: is it over? So it's a great little storyline. Are we going to see this match? Who is the real champion?
Just let me stop you right there. Regardless of how Ricky Starks won, Ricky Starks beat CM Punk. Yeah. So he can't even make that fucking claim anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, true. Good point. But I mean, eventually, are we going to see this? I mean, Punk fighting for the title that he technically never lost.
I don't think MJF because MJF was standing whenever the incident happened.
Yeah.
So I hate to say, I don't think he wants to work with him.
That's the question. That's what I'm really intrigued about.
I might have to disagree with you a little bit there, Doc. Okay. Both CM Punk and MJF are willing to do good business to make fucking money. I wouldn't say it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. I would lean more towards, it'll probably eventually happen, but I don't think anytime soon.
That's just like acting if the CM Punk FTR versus the Elite match will ever happen,
I think there's a better chance of that never happening than this.
Yeah.
MJF had something to say about FTR and that certain man up on that screen's jockstrap. I thought that was one of the best comments ever.
Yeah. We'll see how they collide. I wouldn't be, as we talked about Orange Cassidy in the International Championship, that title, in my opinion, is more relevant probably than even the TNT title right now.
Yes.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
I would not have a problem because they're talking about, do we bring another world title for Collision? Please no. Please no. I want one world title.
No.
It's not a hard split, but I wouldn't mind the international title being showcased on Collision every Saturday if they wanted to do that. I know it's the Orange Cassidy Wednesday thing, which I enjoy, but that belt I think is more relevant now than it's ever been because of Orange Cassidy.
I think it's always been relevant because fucking Orange Cassidy is such a workhorse, and I'm telling you, I'm like beating a dead horse.
Yeah,
it's been like the past over a month. Orange Cassidy is one of the.
It was
called All Atlantic.
Yeah, I mean, it was at first it was like, what are they doing? Is this going to work? But now it just seems like we got an Intercontinental Championship type thing.
Kind of, yeah. But I'm sorry, but there's no one more intriguing to get emotion out of fans than Orange Cassidy right now in AEW.
Did you guys see the news that he is now a road agent and a coach as well? Got promoted, so. It's another guy.
Who? Orange Cassidy?
Yeah. Yes, he's a producer backstage.
And Chris Hero got hired, and
Yep.
Scotty Too Hottie was just there on a trial
The
basis.
pieces are coming together, man. It's like, I mean, we talked about it many, many times because I want all the wrestling companies to thrive. And that's one of the things that they kept saying. Where's the hierarchy? Where's the people helping him? He has it. They just don't have to tell you about it all the time. You know?
Wally, that's not been confirmed anywhere. I
Yeah,
don't
buddy.
think,
No, he was in the crowd.
He
but
was in the crowd. Yeah.
It's a very weird situation. Like, it's not really the kid's fault. And
No,
we give
it's
him
not.
a lot
Well,
of credit.
it's not a weird situation at all.
No.
You can't hold David Benoit
No.
back for what his dad did.
But he looks exactly like
Yeah.
him. Like, he really does. Like, you can't bring him into wrestling somewhere and not call him Benoit. You could try. You could try, but
You could try. It's a terrible idea, but
yeah. But
Just have him do his own thing, give him a
Yeah.
gimmick that I don't need any past. I'm David Benoit, and I'm here to.
I mean, I wouldn't call
Go
him the
for it.
crippler.
No, exactly
if
not.
it
Like
would happen
leave.
anywhere, it's more likely AEW
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they would try to take a risk like that with him. But we'll see. Well, now I got to take a little pause for my Taya Valkyrie appreciation. I love her. Thank you, Taya, for everything you do.
It's hilarious. My son absolutely hates her. I can't
love her.
figure it out. I can't figure out why. I don't know why. I
love
think
her.
she's good too, but like the thing is, like she even though she loses something, she is losing. I think a little bit more than she should.
Yeah, I know.
However, she's making people look like $1 million. I mean, hell, her and Britt had.
I get a weird
and-
feeling that was part of the deal.
Mm.
I got a weird feeling that was part of the deal. Come in for the first year maybe and put people over. And then
Her and Britt
eventually-
was a little bit rough for me last night. I'm not gonna
I've
lie.
heard that from other people too.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't.
There was a couple
Great,
spots
I know.
that, yeah. So how about Matt Cardona still making noise in the indies? He said he'd take the call if he ever got it. However, he also said if Chelsea ever won the belt, he would take it on the road with him in the indies. It's
What
not,
do
the
you
real,
do?
it's not the real belt, people.
It's a replica, of course.
It's a
it
replica.
is,
Chelsea
but-
actually did a video where she
Mhm.
said, "The real belt's with me, you internet morons." But
Mhm.
he's got people talking about him again.
He's good at what he does, man.
Brilliant. Now, do you think-
Him and Cody are two people that have bet on themselves, and look how it's paying off for them.
Now, this is not my thoughts. I hear shit and I
Mhm.
throw it out there. Do you think this could keep him from going to WWE by using this belt and wearing it when it's not his on the indies? I've
No,
heard that
absolutely not.
rumblings. Oh, Vince is going to get pissed at that.
Absolutely. Why? They're
There will
getting
be a
free
cease and-
fucking free publicity.
You don't think there'll be a cease and desist over that one?
I don't know.
I'm just saying how anal they get sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. But I know that's the buzz that I started to hear out there is,
I'm
"Uh-oh,
sure.
Vince
I'm
is going to hate that. He's
sure
not going back now.
he probably got okay to do that, and he didn't just fucking do it.
I
Come
think
on.
it's hilarious.
He's
though.
a fucking businessman.
'Cause
He's not an idiot.
I went right to the comments on that post because it was hilarious how people overreacted on that. But shout out to Matt Cardona for still keeping
He's
himself relevant.
phenomenal.
I didn't see this whole show, but Death Before
It was really
Dishonor-
good. I watched it.
I never got
It
to
was
see this
really
one.
good.
I was bummed I missed out on this one.
Athena and Willow Nightingale was probably one of the best women's matches I've seen since probably Britt and Thunder Rosa from Dynamite, however long ago that was.
So was there title changes?
Mm-hmm. Aussie Open is
Won the tag
now
titles.
the Ring
Mhm.
of Honor Tag Team Champions.
They defeated Lucha
I hope
Bros.
I hope
Well,
that's
no, it was Lucha
three-way or
Bros, the Kingdom.
Oh, that's right.
And somebody else.
I think it was nice to have the Luchas have the ROH tag titles for a while, but I'd like to see
Mhm.
them more on AEW TV now. I want them back.
I
on
think
there.
you're going to.
This could be the
Yeah.
gateway to that. 'cause
No, it was a really solid show. I was pleasantly surprised.
cool. All right. What we got next here? We're getting down to last night. Pac and Gravity. Did you see the man that Gravity forgot segment at the beginning they were trying to pull off?
Yes.
Pac was like, "Do you remember me? The man that Gravity forgot." It was kind of corny, but I get
I
it.
liked it. I
get
liked
it.
it.
It's
I laughed.
using the nickname, and they brought it up on commentary, so the commentators did a
That
very
Ring
good
of
job.
Honor show is the first time I've seen Gravity. He's somebody's brother or something. I forget who.
Oh,
They
okay.
mentioned it on commentary in on the ROH show, but I like him.
But what I like is AR Fox, good match against Cassidy, joining the Mogul Embassy.
Love it.
It's a Lucha Underground faction, people.
Love it.
Brian Cage, Killshot, and I think he was Dante Fox in Lucha Underground.
I don't remember, but yeah.
They all fought together back then.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Lucha. Saw a bunch of series, and I really enjoyed the wild, Mexican soap opera stuff they would do in the back and weird
I
shit.
liked Lucha Underground.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think this might be they're doing it on purpose to make like a Lucha type little group?
I think they are, yeah. I like the fact that they're doing this. I like the fact that like Darby come out disappointed. So I bet on you. I put all into you, and look what you did to me. And I thought that might be it. I thought we might get a slow burn with this, like AR Fox just losing it a couple times in the ring and then being brought back to reality by Darby. But no, man, they went right for the throat, which I thought was cool.
It gives AR Fox something to do too.
Yes, it does.
Instead of just coming and fight on a trios match every once in a while, now he's actually relevant in the storyline. Big shout out to my boy Beantown Breakdown from up there in Boston. Big shout out to you, my friend. But all in all, yeah, like I said, I've seen bits and pieces of the whole show. The MJF Adam Cole stuff we can continue to talk about. The Baker and Taya match, two of my favorites, but there were some spots but I think the Darby Swerve match was gold, and the idea behind it where they're going.
I think match of the night was Orange and AR Fox, with a close second being Darby and Swerve for sure.
Yeah.
Good matches, solid Dynamite, and I do like the fact I get a little bit of a different. I talked about it before. A little bit of a different feel when it comes to Collision. In the beginning of Collision, when they do the little interviews, that's kind of old school. I dig that when they
Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, exactly. They do, and I dig that it's different. They're not trying to duplicate and do the same show both sides.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the G1. The match that made me want to talk about it in the first block became Okada and Ospreay. So I saw highlights of the match. I didn't get to see the whole thing, but Ospreay beat him. It was like an 18-minute match. Ospreay got the win. But I just wanted to give a G1 climax update. It's like saying climax all the time. And you can see now that Sonata, the champ, is 5-0, leading block 1. Ospreay now at 4-1 with Okada right behind him. And I love this concept. I really hope. I've heard rumors that Tony Khan wants to do a climax type thing. And bring in other wrestlers would be really cool. Finley, Evil, Tama Tonga, Eddie Kingston up there. I believe this is his first climax. Ishii at 1 and 3 at the bottom, but
I like Jeff Cobb and
4-0.
And these are this year's stats this time, not last year's people like I did last time by accident. But Andy Price is the guy I always go to when I got questions about this stuff. But it's going to be fun to see how it evolves, how it ends up when the guys from each block. It's like a World Cup type. It's a World Cup of wrestling, basically, for those soccer fans out there. But I think they're at maybe almost the midpoint or whatnot. They still got a long way to go, so we'll keep an update on it and see how it goes. And I think the winner gets Wrestle Kingdom World Title shot next year, and I think it's January or whatever. So there is a result to it, to where they're going.
I mean, there should be, yeah. Right.
All right, favorite 1980s WWF manager. Doc, I know who you're going with. Your favorite 80s WWF manager. I would say I want Slick on the list. Where's Slick?
Not there.
You're going Heenan, aren't you?
I'm looking right now, man.
No, he's going with fucking Fuji.
I was going to say, fuck Fuji.
No, it's so funny. Still, no, I don't know why you guys say that. Mr. Fuji was a great manager. I don't get it. I know
he was no Bobby Heenan.
Yeah. No one will ever touch Bobby Heenan. Don't get me wrong on that. Hell, I mean, if you think about it, I'd actually put Fuji in this list as number 3. You got to go classy Freddie Blassie second. I mean, my God, look what Hogan in the beginning, and then Sheik, Volkov. He had it going on, man. I mean, with that cane and flashy suits. Yeah, I would go Heenan, Blassie, actually Hart, then Fuji, Albano, and then Luscious Johnny V. That's how I would go. At a
point in time, Jimmy Hart was on top of the manager world in wrestling too for a while. He was.
Shit. Look how many people he's managed it. Like if you look at the way they did this, like thoroughbreds in a way. Heenan, my God,
his
Bundy, Andre, Stud, Brood, Perfect. Like, all right there, just the top 5.
Albano was a crossover talent too. He, because all the music ties of the rock and wrestling.
Yeah,
and stuff.
but it was mostly the Bulldogs. He
True.
got a platinum record smacked over his head. Thank you, Piper. And then you look at Blassie. Blassie was mainly there for Sheik and Volkov. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sheik had his mic skills for 2 seconds of hack, and then of course Blassie would take the reins. Volkov would sing. People get pissed. It was great. You go look at Luscious Johnny V. You look at he liked to refer to him as a dream team. Greg the Hammer Valentine and Bruce Beefcake. Not Bruce the Barber Beefcake before he was the Barber. When he was just Bruce Beefcake. I thought they were phenomenal tag team. And that build with them and the Bulldogs was such a great feud building up to WrestleMania 2. And that's when you wanted to see the Bulldogs do it. I mean, hell, that was before Matilda.
Do you miss managers like these?
Yes.
Do you wish they had more of these like nowadays?
I mean, guys that are out there now aren't doing the job like these guys did. Yeah. I mean, what's his name? Prince.
No.
Oh, Prince Nano's fucking amazing.
Good.
Yeah, but he's not. They're not giving him enough mic skills. I wish they'd let him talk more.
Stokely Hathaway's good too. Stokely could
Where
be a lot
is
better.
Stokely?
I don't know. That's a good question.
He's in management of Ring of Honor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You did mention Jerry Lynn. We did see him come out.
Yeah, I hope. Well, he's supposed to be wrestling Jack Perry, I think, next week.
Oh, you think?
Well, no, they're supposed to be a face-to-face.
Yeah. I hope. I was wondering if they were if he was still good to go and maybe bring him back for a match or two, because there's a lot of people who don't know who he is.
What?
There's a lot of younger people. Young people who just
heartbroken.
I know.
People need to go back and watch the series of him and RVD.
Perfect.
There's a lot of 20-some-year-old wrestling fans that don't know that much about all the ECW stuff.
What's cool about it is I showed Bodie a bunch of ECW matches, without, of course, some of the language. But Jerry Lynn versus RVD, I showed him one of those matches, the one where RVD did the propelled himself at the top. Yeah, it was amazing. It was just it was so cool. And like I said, Jerry Lynn was such an underrated wrestler. I feel that the PWI, I feel like a lot of people underrated him. I think
Jerry Lynn and RVD were the originators of what people want to call spot fests today.
Yeah.
Bam. 100%.
So let's talk about a little comings and goings.
Coming?
Here's one.
Oh, Christ.
Who's coming?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Pillman Jr. at NXT. I
think
my first instinct, they're gonna mess him up.
I don't think.
I hope they don't, but my first guess is what's he going to be?
I would hope they have too much respect for his dad.
Billy the Milkman.
No, he should be Brian Pillman Jr. is what he should be.
Yeah. But they've been known to do that, though. You know what I'm saying? Bring him
with
in.
some, but with him being a Pillman, I would hope that wouldn't.
It is definitely legit because there's a local promotion that was here in town that had to they literally had to take him off the poster.
Or maybe he's just going to fight a little bit here and there and work behind the scenes a little more. I don't know.
He's too young to be working behind the scenes, bro. He needs to be out there working.
I agree, but I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make sense of it. Hopefully they do use him right, and he does get some shine down there. It'd be some nice matches with some of the people they got. Now let's talk about someone who left, who didn't want to be there because of the influence of Vince. Mr. Eric Young, he's out of there. He said he didn't want to.
Yeah, good for him. He came back and tagged with Scott D'Amore on the last Impact pay-per-view.
And the word was, as this article says from Pro Wrestling World, that he was supposed to be some part of the gimmick before Bray left to be part of that angle.
It was supposed to be Bray, Eric Young, Alexa, and Bo Dallas.
Yep. So that's the could have been, would have been. Now there are rumblings now of Wyatt making a return possibly at SummerSlam.
Cleared. He's not cleared.
We'll talk about SummerSlam more next week. There's talk about The Rock showing up at SummerSlam because Grayson Waller's been talking about it and people are using his name. So I like the teases. It's SummerSlam. It's supposed to be one of the biggest events of the year. So let's tease some big people coming in. Let's talk a little bit more about Bray. We'll see if and when he ever gets cleared. If he comes back, there was also Mike Bennett with Sister Abigail underneath there. How about that?
Ain't nobody going to tell me that Pig wasn't Joe Gacy and that the Raptor-looking motherfucker was Grayson Waller.
Yeah. It does look like they are. But I mean, there's a lot of now we hear more that was Bo Dallas and the young Cole Howdy, which we all kind of thought. But, Bray Wyatt, will he come back? Will they jump right into the same thing? Will they try to revert to something different? What are you guys' thoughts on?
I think he needs to come back as the old, like the Wyatt family, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan Wyatt.
That's the one I want.
I would love to see that too.
Let's let it die. Let's let this die for a little bit and then pop it back up after the Wyatt family gets stale. You know what I mean? Like you're throwing so much of Bray Wyatt at one time. You're combining everything into one. Don't do that shit. Literally let it marinate.
I just don't want this Fiend supernatural shit. I
don't want the Fiend either.
You can do creative stuff with Bray, and from all the stuff I've heard when he left the first time, he's got so many great ideas. Let's see something new, or give us a what happened, something with Uncle Howdy. We've never seen the end result to what they teased.
I mean, I did enjoy what type of promos he was doing before he had this little health issue. So,
we'll see. I mean, there's the rumblings are there. What do you guys think about this? I really like this. The fact that the NXT people showing up on, the Smackdowns and Raws in the crowd, and you have some of the mix of the main roster in NXT and stuff. What do you guys think? I don't mind it at all.
I don't mind it at all because everybody wins in that scenario, in my opinion.
Yeah. Dragon and Wesley are brothers. Wes and Dragon Lady, they're brothers, of course. They should put them as a tag team and do a Dudley Boy mock. That they're brothers. No, just kidding.
Wah, wah, wah. There you go.
But I like these teases. Just it makes NXT more relevant, in my opinion. When you see them on, they're not just trying to pawn NXT off as something else. It's actually a part of the company. Speaking of one of the biggest parts of the company, the Bloodline. So we got Tribal Court the last time around, and now we got the Tribal match, and I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird for me right now with this.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I thought it's been rocking and rolling on all cylinders.
But how can you top it when it's the best? It's one of the best angles in wrestling history. It's like, how do they keep making it interesting? I don't know. I mean,
it's got to come to an end.
Did you see the fear in Roman's face when he said tribal? When he called it, because now not only is the belt on the line, so is the head spot. You could say, I still think Roman Reigns will be champion by WrestleMania. He will still be champion at WrestleMania.
I think he will. I do too. I think them even making it for the tribal chief thing just really makes me think that Roman's going to win.
I don't know. I'm thinking Jay.
I hate to say this, but I mean, because I like Jey Uso, but I don't see him as a face of the company type of champion.
Me neither.
I really don't. I'm not trying to discredit his work ethic,
with both of you.
Main event Uso and all that. I just don't see him as something they can have like Cody. I could see as a face of the company. I could see him as a face of the company as a champion. Now, if they did Jey Uso wins and then Roman gets it back at the next pay-per-view, no harm, no foul. He gets that world title reign, possibly. But I don't see him like carrying it for a long time.
No, I don't think it needs to be long term.
But does he deserve maybe a little title run? I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no. Absolutely. But just interesting to see how they're going to keep us interested in this Bloodline story.
And I mean, let's be completely honest. If any single person on that roster is booked correctly and whatnot, anybody could be the face of that company. If the company is doing their job right.
Now, here's the other big question we talked about before. Is The Rock going to get involved in this? Do you guys see him by the end of this year, let's say, getting involved in this at all?
I don't.
No?
I see the Rock and Grayson Waller thing happening before I see The Rock getting involved in this.
Doc, what do you think? Is The Rock ever going to get involved in this Bloodline story? Is it going to happen?
I don't know, man. He's the busy man. Hollywood and everything.
But right now, all the actors are on strike. They're not doing nothing. Yeah. He doesn't have nothing to do.
He doesn't. So there's that whole case against him, isn't there? Some kind of weird court case that this woman's like posting against all these actors. I mean, it's basically just a blatant and stupid way to get rich.
But I think you might see Alpha or Sika at SummerSlam and not The Rock.
if we get no Rock ever in this storyline, does that take away from the Bloodline
No,
storyline?
absolutely
No,
not.
I think
No.
if you get him in it, it takes away from it.
Really? Okay. Because I mean, that's the anticipation is everyone's
at this
thinking.
point, yeah, I think it does. If you would have asked me that question 6 months ago, I would have said it would have helped it with The Rock being in it.
Yeah.
But I think they've done too good of a job with the players involved in it that you don't need to, and I don't mean this in a negative way, muddy it up by bringing in The Rock.
But like right now, the struggle is Roman and the family. You know, is he losing his family? Now he's down to 1. He doesn't have 7 people around him anymore. So that struggle is there before there's ever is Rock the real tribal chief, which I wouldn't mind if they try to move that into it at some point. But like we said, he's a busy man. Who knows? Let's go to the other major storyline in WWE. Dirty Dom. The first person ever to main event Raw, SmackDown, and NXT in the same week. He is now your North American champion.
I'm good with it.
I'm fine.
He consistently gets better and better. I mean, his ring work obviously could use some improvement, which I think he has improved. But look at who his dad is. So he has that built-in pressure already to live up to the same work rate as his dad, and that's never going to be the case. I'm sorry.
Yeah, point taken. Also, you get to see more Rhea.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. That's the one thing about the whole Judgment Day thing is I enjoy Rhea whenever she's on there. You know, I'm not a big Dom fan. I never was. I mean, I like what he's doing. I love the heat. And we're not supposed to really like him right now. You know, you're supposed to hate him, what he's doing, and the fact that he got a title belt now and shit. But it was kind of weird how it was right in the middle of Ali and Wesley had that match already booked, and then they threw that curveball and changed the title, and now it's a triple threat. I like that because you didn't see that coming. They were already advertising Wesley, and traditionally in old school, that doesn't happen. So throwing a curveball into the mix, I'm not totally against. We'll see how it goes. We'll talk about that here in a second as we review the Great American Bash. I think that's next. Yeah, the Bash. One of my favorites from back in the day when they used to tour and do the Bash all summer long. It was actually their summer tour, headlined by a big pay-per-view. But once again, I mean, they're bringing No Mercy back. Did you hear that? They just announced No Mercy's coming back.
Yeah, I love that.
Pay-per-view in NXT. So what do you guys think about them recycling old pay-per-views in NXT like that? I don't mind it.
Fine with it.
It's fine, yeah.
I mean, it's nostalgia, and wrestling's all about nostalgia, you know.
It's nostalgic, but they're rejuvenating it. So
if I'm 2K, I am like, you know, when they release No Mercy, you release a downloadable game in the style of No Mercy, but just involving the NXT wrestlers.
Yeah, that wasn't not a bad
I
idea.
think that would be it would not only, I wouldn't say sell that event. The event's going to sell itself. I understand that, but just the little bit of a promotion and then the nostalgia with that game would be awesome.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm not opposed to that.
Just a thought.
Yeah, no, I'm down. So let's talk about the matches. There's 7 matches. This first one, no clue. I mean, okay. I don't follow NXT as much as I should to know. Like, I know Last Legend and Nathan Frazier up front.
Yeah.
But I don't know how this story came together and why it's a mixed tag, 8-person tag.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
see what happens. Go with it.
So
the guy on the top, second one over, is the cat. I don't remember his name because I don't watch a lot of NXT, but he was in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Noam Dar.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I like him.
Is that Dragon Lee at the bottom there?
It is. It
Okay.
is.
So he's involved there. So all right, let's take picks. Doc, top team or bottom team?
Wow, the top or the bottom?
They don't have team names or nothing, so that's what we have to go with.
I'm gonna go Dragon Lee and company.
Okay, Doc got Dragon Lee's team. What about you, CJ?
Noam Dar, Lash Legend, and yada yada.
We'll have the Noam Dar team and the Dragon Lee team. I don't even know the much about the ladies, so I'm gonna go with the Noam Dar team, just for the hell of it. Doc, you did win. Not that we really count these, but you won like 5 pay-per-views in a row with these pick'ems. But I got the last one, so I'm the current champ, but not by
Okay.
much. All right, Bea Priestley and Roxanne Perez. This is like some kind of weapons match, some kind of crazy weapons match.
Roxanne Perez.
You got Roxanne. What about you, Dog?
I'm gonna go Blair Davenport because she's just been on a roll lately, especially with the whole videos and attacking and stuff. I think that you need to propel her a little bit more as a heel, and Roxanne's so loved. Why not?
I still like to call her Bea Priestley. That's her old name.
Yeah.
That's
and
what,
I do
Will
like her.
Ospreay's girlfriend, right?
Is it really? She gives me Jamie Hayter vibes a little bit.
At least I thought. I don't know. That's what
I'm
was the
not
rumor.
sure if that's
I'm gonna go Blair Davenport as well. Why not? This is an interesting one. He came out and said he could go back and win an international championship. He could go back and go to the Olympics, but instead he's going to fight Baron Corbin. Is this the right move for Gable Stevenson's debut? And how are you going to rebuild Corbin with a brand new gimmick? And he's going to lose to Stevenson.
I don't think he is going to lose.
No? Okay.
Kelly, I see what you're talking about. I remember now that Noah Dar was involved in there. Yeah, definitely. I remember now because they brought him back like he was like in a real depressed state or something. I think this is going to kill the impact that Corbin's already bringing back. I mean, why would you feed him?
I disagree. You can mark my pick down as Baron Corbin.
Okay.
I hope Baron Corbin. You know what? I'll do it too, just to get that mojo going. I hope, but I don't want to see Gable Stevenson win. I don't. And then they made that big stupid let me make a decision like LeBron James.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It brings up a lot of question marks on why they chose to do it this way. But I guess I'm a wait and see wrestling fan.
Why? Because Baron Corbin is that damn good.
He is a good worker, so why not get him in a ring with a good worker? I really thought Stevenson was not going to come back. I thought he was going to say, hey, I'm going to go, get one more wrestling championship and one more Olympic gold medal and come back. But because he could be the first person to ever do that. But instead, looks like he's here for good. I mean, why else would he do this?
Great.
Yay.
But what can he do? I mean, he has, what can he do that other wrestlers can't? I haven't seen like that.
He's never going to be Kurt Angle. I'll know that right off the bat. I'll say that quote. He'll never be Kurt Angle.
He didn't win a gold medal with a broken
freaking neck. Exactly. All right, moving on. Thank you.
Tag team Gallus versus what is it?
Tony
and Stacks.
That's who I'm going with. Tony and Stacks.
You're going with the new champs? You got new champions here? What about you, Doc?
I'm going to go Tony and Stacks for the simple fact I saw them on Raw. They're like kind of pushing them a little bit more. So I kind of going Tony and Stacks.
Okay. I'm going to go the other one and say Gallus retains for the fuck of it. I don't know why. I just feel like it.
Well, you said why. For the fuck of it.
Oh, yeah, true. So I guess there is a why. Does Thea Hale do it? Does she win the title? I hope so. What do you think, CJ? As much as I know you want her to.
Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany's going to keep it?
Yeah.
There has to be this is her second match against her, too, right?
Yeah.
But this is a submission-only match because she has that Kimura that she's been using.
I mean, of course I want Thea to win. But
I do, too.
We all want Thea to win.
You don't think it's time? You don't think it's time?
It's not time yet, no.
I don't think it is yet. I think she's done a hell of a job since she's left Pittsburgh on improving, and I love her fucking promos.
Her energy's crazy.
It's fucking great. I love it. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany keeps it somehow.
Tiffany keeps it, yeah.
I'm kind of with you. As much as I'd love to see Thea.
Thanks, Wheels.
I would rather see the struggle of her not getting it this time and having to get better or whatever.
It's all about
to
the
be
chase.
It's
all about
and able to do it another time. So I'm down with that. And I don't know how she keeps up that energy. I guess when you're 18, 19, 20 years
19.
old, you have more energy, but
it's
fun. It's entertaining.
Now, but I think she's 19.
She's got a huge future. And I think
for sure.
I think her more than those Cavender twins that are coming up. I think Thea Hale is going to be a freaking superstar.
I'll fucking sign off on that. Absolutely.
Definitely.
So here's the predicament. It was Ali versus Wesley, and now Dominic comes in, wins the title. And I want to save this for next week because we got SummerSlam. Dom retains. Finn wins the title next week. and they have all the gold, they're going to do the same thing they did with the Bloodline.
I'm not opposed to it.
I'm not opposed to it either. I think we go with this just to make people hate them more.
True.
And to cause a little bit more turmoil
But is it
in
too
Judgment
much
Day
like
with the Money in the Bank.
Bloodline? They have everyone has a belt. Is it too much like the Bloodline?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, Solo, they had to take the belt off of Solo.
True. That's right.
It's nothing like the Bloodline.
I'm just saying
but
the idea that everyone needs to have a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have double belts. All Russos and Roman had all those belts. It did add to the legacy of that group. Does Judgment Day need all belts and everything? No,
I
but
don't think they do, but it makes them like a legitimate. Not that they're not already. It legitimizes the stable, which they're already in great graces with everybody behind the scenes.
So as much as I'm not a huge Dom fan, I get the whole angle. I think Dom pins Ali to keep the belt.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
All three of us.
Mm-hmm.
Dom, yeah, he got to put it on him this early and to take it off of him. It wouldn't make sense why you would put him on it just to take it off. Here at this thing. So, yeah, I think Dom beats Ali instead of Wes, and then I don't know. Maybe we still get Wes and Ali at some point in time. Does Dragunov take the title off of Carmelo in the main event?
No, he does not, because he's going to join Imperium.
So I've been hearing the Imperium things. What do you guys also think? And I know we'll talk.
I'm gonna start just saying what CJ said because, I'm like, yeah, and he says it. I'm like, yeah, but no, for real, that's what I think's gonna happen.
So they've teased, and I think Brock Lesnar loses to Cody Rhodes because Bobby Lashley and the new Hurt Business come out and beat the fuck out of Brock.
I don't think you see a new Hurt Business yet. I think they're doing that as a little bit of a foreshadow to get people talking, but I don't think you see it happen just yet.
I mean, even if they're not called the Hurt Business, I like what Bobby's doing, kind of teasing it with Trick and Carmelo, kind of thinking about it. And the Street Profits as well, yeah. So, I mean, put those five together, man. That would be it. Plus, you're mixing NXT with the main roster, too, with that. I don't know if they'll, has that happened before? Would that be a good idea? So, we're all saying Carmelo retains.
Mello don't miss.
Yep.
It's him. He is him. He is him. So I don't know. We'll see how Great American Bash is. I think it's a little lackluster card. It's nothing that really grabs me, but it is what it is. They've been doing okay stuff over there in wait, what happened here? There we go. In NXT, trying to make it more relevant with the main roster and some of the angles and stuff they're doing. Funny.
Yeah, it's
right
been good.
End of the daytime. All right, so next week we'll definitely talk about SummerSlam, and we're going to preview 2PW show coming up on that Friday as well. Maybe have Emily back as our correspondent. Maybe have Tad and JJ yell like morons at each other again.
No, we're good.
Are they going to say anything different?
No, but the simple fact is JJ's going to run his mouth, and I think this Friday, next Friday he gets, right? I think it gets shut for him. But that's just my opinion. We'll see what happens. But
at the end of the day, Doc.
The end of the day, like I said, pro wrestling is amazing right now. I'm loving every minute of it. Also, congratulations one more time. I got to say it. 6-time deck hockey champion Dorcia. So at the end of the day, we did it again. We actually are going on a hiatus. So to a couple of you guys, I miss you. And like I said,
get your hiatus out of here.
Hey, I'm excited. I was excited. I didn't think we were going to win it again.
I'm proud that you're still doing it. Not that you're old, but at this age.
No, I'm old. I'm old as fuck. And I'm feeling it. That. So it is what it is. But
how's your hockey bag smelling?
Pretty good, actually.
Shit.
What he said. All right. So, anyways, at the end of the day, enjoy wrestling, and then at the end of the day, CJ is a genius because I can't ever, everything I say.
Great points today. Would make me agree with you so much, CJ. At the end of the day, brother.
At the end of the day, these next 2 weekends coming up, you got a lot of good independent wrestling. You got 2PW next Friday, August the 4th in Worthington. The following Saturday, August the 12th, you have IWC Cage Fury in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania with 3 cage matches. I am walking on my own accord.
Walking is
so PT is going very well. I'm probably at about 65%. Hulk Hogan does eat corn the long way, and apparently he just got engaged again. So good for you, brother. But
brother.
Things are coming along. I'm not cleared to get back in the ring yet, but Friday, August the 4th, I will be in Worthington, Pennsylvania. So Preston Everest, eat a dick, bud.
Ouch.
At the end of the day, Detroit, get ready. I know a lot of people from the area going up to Detroit for it. Safe travels, have fun, and we'll see how it goes. I talked about thinking about going to Philly for Mania, but I don't want to shell out all that money. But hey, summer's almost over, and with All In coming up, SummerSlam, we got a lot of big wrestling shows. It's going to be a lot of fun. So peace and positive vibes out there. Keep it real, and I'll be live here shortly, as I always do. We out of here. Peace. See you next week.
I'm at a black and white gala.
So
no, I am not watching.
And
You are
CJ is
a
pissed.
I
I thought we weren't going to see it. I
you weren't supposed to. The Blaze is a fucking cunt.
really did. If anybody eats corn the long way,
It's
it's Blaze. Jesus Christ.
I had no plans on doing that.
I can't believe what I mean, CJ's night is ruined. You realize that, right?
It's not. I didn't know what that was.
That was for you, buddy.
Oh my God. Oh, by the way, William Kenna, Hulk Hogan equals prestige. Just remember that, kiddo.
Prestige worldwide.
Don't kill me, Ray. I promise I'll delete that video and never play it again. Suck a big one. Oh, he cunt! There, I gotta give a shout out to Ray. See you next week. Pussies! I love you, pussies.
Yeah.
Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, share it out, guys. We'll be back next week. We out of here.